Hello! Welcome to episode 93 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to take all of the issues that life throws our way and we do a voodoo spell on them and reanimate corpses so then like they get eaten to death. What are zombies, Steven? Why? Okay. Now, no one ever explains what zombies are, Steven, and when they do, it's like something to do with voodoo or aliens, and I don't understand any of it. I have so many questions about zombies, Steven.
Yeah, I mean, like, even like the virus approach is weird because physically speaking, the tendons and the muscle tissue, the things that make you work are no longer working properly.
There's so many things. And I have so many questions for you, Steven. Okay, we'll get to that. We'll do, you know what? We're going to do a monster test zombie edition today, just to get that over. For now, though, Steven, I have questions for you. So every week we get together and we talk about making things, just overcoming the various obstacles and issues that life throws our way, and we make comic books. Steve and I have been working together for 20 years now trying to do this, and most recently we've been working on a supernatural action comedy comic book called Deathless, and Steven, it's going really well. You just showed me the newest page, and it's freaking phenomenal. I know you did well this week. I know you did well. You don't have to brag. You don't have to brag. This is my time. This is my time to talk about how I failed, Steven.
I feel like my strategy is showing though. Like my strategy is to over promise, but then people are like, "But he still got so much done with that page." You know what I'm saying? Like, because I said 2 pages.
It's a bold strategy because like you're fuckessing every week is what you're doing.
Yeah,
you know it. You're like, oh, I'm gonna fuckess the hell out of it.
I'm literally Douglas. I'm like tripping through sliding glass doors and just kind of stumbling my way through these final pages. But
so every week we talk about what we wanted to do. Last week, Steven wanted to do. He was hoping to get 2 pages done, but Steven, what you got done was pretty freaking awesome.
So that page is pretty nuts. So I got most of this page done. I had a lot of the backgrounds were, tough on this one, but this page is basically done. I just need to kind of show him hitting the ground, very Wile E. Coyote, right. Smacking the ground is what I'm trying to go, like, hands and forearms going in weird directions as he's smacking the ground. But I got the backgrounds done. So this page is basically done, which leaves me with 3 pages to do. And then the whole comic is drawn.
Oh my God.
And you've already gotten a good amount flatted, so I can literally immediately start shading. And that's like the drawing is the longest part. Because if you remember, even with Play It Again, like the coloring really didn't take even just me that long. Like I was through most of the coloring in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, man.
And that was from no
for sure. Yeah.
So since you already have flats, it's going to be so much quicker. But yeah,
so happy about that.
I'm so excited, dude. I mean, obviously we got to do some filler pages like we did last time, like some things to put in the book to like, title page, things like that. But we have the majority of the book done, and it's so exciting.
Dude, I'm so excited. So this week I wanted to try to write like the first crap draft of Deathless and then finish coloring a page. I did like finish up the last page that I was working on. I started the next page, which I've shown you.
Which look amazing,
dude. I'm so excited for this next page. It's so cool. I love like barreled heavy pages already. I'm just like, can't wait. It's so cool. I wasn't able to finish the draft though. Like I'm like starting strong with it, and I really love what I'm doing. But I was like, we had stuff going on this week, and I was biting off way more than I could chew. Speaking of chew zombies, no, I'm kidding. We're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that yet. That's not my segue. I do want to talk about. So this week, Steve and I had our second ever comic book convention, dude. That's what we did this week, and that was on my mind a lot. So I'll say, you know what? As much as I wanted to get certain things done, what I did get done was I got prints made for us. I got business cards made and shipped to us. Like I collected all that stuff. I got stickers. So I collected all that stuff. I got everything ready for our convention. It was great. I was like super excited.
I remembered the duct tape this time.
So for those of you who might remember our first convention, I asked Steven for one singular thing. I was like, Steven, all I ask of you, I've done everything. I printed these pictures. I got them frames. No. Steven did a lot, but I did.
But that was all extra stuff that you didn't even ask for. And then true. You were like, I did that thing where I overcompensate and do a bunch of other crazy stuff, but then didn't do the one singular thing that was asked.
It's so funny. So I asked Steven, the only thing I asked him was just bring duct tape. We're going to need it. And we ended up needing tape too. And I brought tape, thankfully, but not duct tape. So this time I was like, Steven, just please bring duct tape just in case. He brought it. We get out of the car. We have all of our stuff packed. We're getting ready to walk away. And Steven's like, whoa, wait. The duct tape. And I already packed it. And it was good.
You're like, I already grabbed it. Which, by the way, in retrospect, I think we probably could have parked a little closer.
You know what, Steven? You and I both are not in the best shape right now, okay?
But like, even when I was walking back, I'm like, oh, I'm right here. No. Oh no, I'm right here. No. It was a good, yeah, it was a good.
No, we did. So what we're saying is we walked 30 miles uphill both ways to get to this convention. And Steven, it was fun. I had fun. How do you feel about the experience overall?
It was amazing. And like, what's crazy, like I was actually thinking about this today, like, that was, what was it, like we got there at like 9. I was there till about 4:30. You were probably there till what, like 5 something?
Oh, I stayed super late. I was just like, Steven, you left me in the trenches taking grenades from these nerds. I'm stuck here selling my heart out. I'm just like, here's my heart. And I stayed until the bitter end. I was just like, I got one left, one breath in my body. I'm gonna sell it to you because Steven did nothing. No, I mean, I left like half hour after you did. I was like, okay. I'm out of here.
But it was like, I mean, it was basically an 8-hour day, and it felt like nothing though. Like it really did go so quick.
Dude, I am so thankful. Like I know we say it all the time. Like I've always loved and appreciated our friendship and like how much like we're open and how much we love each other. But dude, I have no one else in my life like that I can confidently say that I laugh that hard with consistently. Like
we just consistently make somebody once again layered jokes for no reason. Like they're so
just all day Steven and I are just coming up with these random jokes, just like back and forth. And it's just this type of stuff where it's like you need 20 years of friendship for any of it to be funny, and it doesn't work otherwise.
Like the Sin City quotes, like why were they so funny? They were just so funny, and like it just worked out. And like, but really, it was just quoting Sin City on top of like things happening, and so many quotes just kept working.
Everything was so good. Yeah, dude, but it was like an 8-hour day of just like being friends, hanging out, talking about this thing, and kind of like reinforcing what we've been working toward. And it's really cool. And it really, it just like, it makes me feel really good to have people come to our table and they get really excited about our book. When I see people look at this freaking poster and like their eyes light up and they're like, what's that? I'm like, I can't wait to tell you about it. I'm just like, oh my, like this is cool. I can't wait to get that book out just so we can be like, this is what you want. I promise. It's better than the other one. Like the other one is good, but it's harder to sell that one. Like every time I talk to people about Play It Again, and every time they read it, people seem to really enjoy it. People like bittersweetly connect with it. Like it is a book that people can identify with, but it's not a book that's easy to pitch in an elevator to someone, like to be like, hey, do you want to have a sad day? You want to feel you want to feel stuff, So it's weird when someone stops by our table and like they're surrounded, just inundated with like a lovely room of comics, and it's just like so many people just pitching all the superhero universes you can possibly imagine. It's a multiverse surrounding us, and like here we are with like a book about a dude who travels through time after a breakup. Like it's weird. So it makes it unique and fun, but at the same time, it is harder to.
It's just going to be much nicer to have 3 books on the table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With the promotion of issue 2.
Yeah, we can read the people and kind of be like, okay, well, this is a sad personal indie story. This is it's a more coming of age, find your power superhero comedy book. We're covering the bases of like, comedy and drama here, tragedy kind of. Dude, convention, I had so much fun though. We met a lot of people. We got to see Meg, which was great. And it's always so much fun because I always feel like there's always at least one person, that we like connect with and we find, and in this one, I actually felt like there were a few people where I was like, I bet I'm gonna hear from you again, or I bet we're gonna connect.
For sure. Again. There was like a lot of awesome people, and then even the people that like the people that are just there to sell like products, like not even their products, just products. Like even they were cooler this time around. Like the people next to us were just very chill. There was no huge space being taken up or anything like that. It was the Harbor Side was a much nicer convention than Crown Plaza.
Yeah, it really was overall. I feel like it was a small, like it was The last one had the frequency of travelers because of how compact it was. So
Yes.
it felt like we were like people were kind of sardined in and forced to stand in front of our table for longer. So it was like there was kind of like that luxury. But without that, we had the luxury of space and comfort, which honestly, for me, like it led to like a better situation. I was more comfortable the second time for various reasons. You know, like
Mhm.
I felt like I had a better idea of what I was supposed to be doing and what I could do and what, you know, and it was cool. I'm excited to talk to a few people. Like I like meeting. There are a couple of like local people who make comics, and a couple of local people who do like the Comic Chat
Mhm.
Authority with Cody. That guy seems really
He
cool.
added me on Facebook, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, me too. And
Awesome.
He's out of Cape Coral, and he just posted about our books, and he said he's going to do a review soon, and like hopefully he likes them. I don't know,
That's
but
and it
like
has us on too. Like he was a really cool. Like, yeah, they were awesome.
yeah,
Like
they were awesome. There's so many cool people, and like there's just so much that I'm thankful for about that dude. But I'll tell you, no matter what we experienced and how much I felt like I was connecting with people, making these like cool, just like kind of networking, you know, with people, and I felt like we were making steps toward like look at us go, we're being professionals. Like with all of that, the thing that stuck out the most in my head about that day, Steven, was that little girl.
oh, the Minecraft girl.
The Minecraft girl, Steven!
I told Tina about it immediately. Like I was like, the funniest thing happened. Like, and, like within 6 inches of our table, this happened. Like we're sitting there.
We were just sitting here. Steve and I are joking. We're just like making jokes, having a good day. Not what like it was kind of like a slower portion of the like part of the day, and we're just dude. So we're just joking. We're like laughing, like hanging out, and we just turn, and this man stops with his daughter just less than a foot away from our table, just like right in our like a perfect like it's just streaming service. Turn it on. Are you still watching? Yeah, I got. Might as well. We're watching this. Whatever's happening, we're about to watch it. And this man just starts kind of like sincerely trying to give his daughter a talking to, and it's just this adorable little girl wearing like a Minecraft creeper shirt, like, you know, and just Steven, the utter disrespect and like nonchalant just like disregard of everything that man had to say was the funniest thing Steven and I saw all day. It was
Oh my gosh! Like just like literally just going. While he's like talking to her, and he's like trying to be quiet and like respectful of like the environment, but scolding his child. And
we are two parents. We are parents, and we're sitting here like trying our best to hold it in, knowing what this man is going through, and it's just the funniest thing.
He can't. He can't see us. He can't see us laughing at him. It's just it's gonna deflate anything he has left.
It's like, and if she sees it, she's gonna become the next Jim Carrey. Like,
it's gonna cement like this. So other adults say this is how you handle this. I got it.
I got it. But oh man, something about that was just like I couldn't stop. Like I was just like, oh my god. And then like the best thing about it was you and I tried our best. Like I can see you trying not to like react to it, and I'm trying not to react to it. And then like as soon as they left, you were like absolute legend. And you said that, and I was like, that was everything that was going through my mind. Was like, yes. Oh, I can't.
This kid is the hero we don't deserve.
It was so funny, dude. That moment was my favorite. Like, I mean, I had a lot of good moments in the convention. That was,
but just like, oh my gosh, like
so
just what was going through her little 6-year-old head or whatever, 7-year-old head. This, just like, dude, I'll give this to you too. Because speaking of like little girls doing hilarious things, I gotta send it to you because I don't think I sent it to you. But the reason why I had left the con early was because I went to go see Chasey's play that got rescheduled from the previous Saturday. But she's on stage. And I don't know why I was filming because they were just setting up stuff, but I decided to film. And like Chasey's teacher walks up to her, like has to move her. And Chasey, like, is it Jane Curtin from Coneheads? Is that her name? Like in her best Conehead impression, as she's getting moved, she goes, it was just so funny. Like, and what was crazy is I'm like 25 feet away from her filming this, and you can hear her go, like, as she
hang on. Give it a moment of silence. I'm putting that right here, Steven.
For what?
She did not want to be manhandled.
She did not. It was just so, but you can hear it, dude. Like, it's so crazy. You can hear her do it.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, yeah,
it was pretty much the best part of the play. I mean, the play was good, but it was pretty much the best part of the play.
Oh man, that's so funny.
But anyways, the con was wonderful.
But the con was wonderful. There were so many good moments. I think meeting people like Rebekah, who we met her and within 10 minutes she was subscribed to our Patreon, and just they're just so cool and kind. She
was really awesome and playful too, like the whole.
Oh, that was so funny. Thing. I'm sorry, Rebekah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'll tell you. Quick. So what would you do? What would you do? So I'm sitting on my seat, and I look over and I see her very nice, beautiful display of books. Like, she's written several books. So I'm looking across and I see that she has all of her her amazing books and all the stuff that she's worked on. All it's perfectly displayed, and it's it's like nice cover, and there's one book that's just flipped over, and I was like, something is amiss. I was like some unruly child came over and just probably
flipped this book.
Yeah, probably a little creeper, causing so much chaos.
She's like, oh, that's just the sound she makes when she ruins people.
So I was like, she came over and she messed up her book. I'm gonna fix this. She's my new buddy. I like them. I'm gonna help. So I was like, hey, because that's what I do when I want anything. I'm like, I go to order food. I'm like, hey,
E-Honda.
So I E-Honda, trying to get her attention, and finally she's like, what? Leave me alone. No, I'm kidding. She was very sweet. She was like kind of like, are you okay? Like, calm down, E-Honda. And I was like, so I was like, one of your books is flipped, and she's like, I know. I did that on purpose because I'm a marketing genius. And I was like, you're right, because it did actually get my attention that something was amiss. And so I wanted to, it got my attention. So what you're saying is, so I was like, I failed. Like, she deliberately did it for fools like me who were like, oh, what is this? It needs to be fixed. But they're like, I gotcha. Like, I ensnared you in my marketing trap of asymmetry. And
it works.
But later on, she came over and she looked at me and she looked like something is amiss. And I was like, oh no. And I for a second, I was like, Steven's going to have to attack Rebekah. Like, I am not equipped to fight this person. She looks like she's got some moxie. And I was like, I don't want to deal with any of this. I can't. I've already used my Honda. I can't.
I've already done
So
she knows what's coming now.
She's prepared for that attack, So she comes over and I'm like, and so she flips over one of our books. She's like, one of your books is flipped. I'm like, oh, gee. You're such a genius, I was like, you're so good at this, and I left it flipped.
She was awesome.
She was.
I love that we always have an awesome neighbor.
Yeah,
and then I don't think I got the names of them across the way, but they were pretty cool too.
They were cool. So there was a neighbor across the way, like a younger, like teenage girl who liked to draw, and she did Pikachu impressions and stuff, and she was really cool. Didn't love sitting by her, Steven, because she's too good. I can't compete with that. I can't compete with an adorable hi. I can't.
She just engaged with anyone that walked by and
everyone
effectively.
I'm the worst. I was just like, he doesn't want my book. She doesn't want my book. You don't want my book. Sometimes I had some pretty good methods.
You know what it is? You and I have been out of the dating game for so long that we don't know how to initiate. Oh, no. We need to be those guys that have the legendary opens, basically.
That's true. We need to be the sex drive guys. What's up?
I mean, what's up? What's your address?
Where do you live?
But I think it's it's not the same, but it's a very similar thing. Like, we need to intentionally start conversations with people as they're walking by. And it's just tough for me because it's like, I don't want to impose on anybody else's good time. That's my problem.
I have a thing with marketing in general where I never want to be disingenuous. I want people to I'm here to literally try to sell people our books and our podcasts. And
oh my God, I just had a genius idea.
What is it?
We write parody versions of Toby's like pitches from the Sweeney Todd movie, and we have Cambria and or Atlas sing them as people walk by. Try the colonies, you know, like there's like all these, like just have them do like a little stage song as people are walking by.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I have your attention?
Your attention, please.
That would be great.
That would be awesome. She was so good at like initiating that open, and people did go to her table. Granted, they also had like figures and things like that, like you know, things that you know aren't just made by them, but they also had books that like their mom wrote and stuff. And
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I think we did a pretty good job. Like there was one time where I essentially yelled at a guy for not taking a sticker, and he was like, "Oh, okay," and he took a sticker, and I was like, "That's right. Don't make me do this."
That was one of our jokes. That was one of our things that made us laugh too. It was like when the NPCs both realized that the other one's not an NPC because he's an NPC to us and we're NPCs to him. Yeah. So it's like, oh my god, we're all real. We're all real people here for a second.
It's weird, dude. I mean, it is funny when like you try to talk to people and people just kind of like look at you and they don't know how to respond to the thing you're saying, and it's like they walk around like veritable zombies, Steven, just like zombies, like a segue into a next segment, Steven. I'd like to do a monster test with you, Steven. It's been going pretty well, and I love this segment, so I have questions. I have questions about another monster, and this week it's going to be zombies. So I'd like to do the monster test.
Monster test. Get your pencils out. I got my pencil. Give me something to write on. All right, David Lee Roth, we're getting to it.
Monster test.
Running with the monsters.
Running.
Even you could have just said devil there. I know, but I wanted to like kind of say I'm with the monsters.
Full stop. Like it's not it's not a bunch of devils. I have questions about that too. Well, maybe we'll get to that eventually. But like Pegasus, okay? Like Pegasus, wasn't that the one? Wasn't that just like
it's Pegasus? There's the Pegasus.
But there was only the Pegasus. Wasn't there only like Pegasus was his name, wasn't it? Wasn't it like Pegasus? Come
so would you just call not Pegasus
horse,
a winged horse, right?
Right. I mean, maybe they have, maybe it is like a thing where it's like, well, I mean, we bred from the most popular ones, but we don't call all boxers Rockies. You know what I mean? Like it's weird. It's weird to be like, that's the most famous one, so we're gonna call them all that. You know,
that guy's a real Rocky over there. You see that guy?
But anyway, so this week's monster test, Steven, we're gonna talk about one of my favorite monsters, and probably the most overused monster of all time, I think. Like the thing that saturated the market the most, that's inundated us and created a wasteland of monsters.
It's one of those monsters that jump generations, because like Gen X was all about zombies and millennials were like, yeah, give me zombies. And then even Gen Z was like, yeah, I'll take zombies too. And like, it's just zombie. Like I almost think, yeah, like Twilight makes vampires feel overused, but Twilight was just so big that it felt like vampires were everywhere. Zombies really were everywhere. Like there was comedies.
But like, well, it's true because I mean, well, zombies are everywhere, but even though people are like, zombies, sick of them, we're not. Like, we will continue to, like, consume the zombie media whenever we find it, especially when it's good, you know? Like, anytime you find anything, like, Shaun of the Dead, you know? Like, there are, like...
Zombieland was fun. Like,
Zombieland was fun. I mean, like, Zombieland 2, I was like, I'm not sure that this had to be made, but at the same time, I was like, I watched it, I enjoyed it, you know? But, like, Train to Busan, like, you know, there are just zombie movies, and people will always consume them. I love zombies. Steven, what the heck is a zombie?
All right, so my definition, because I feel like outside of you, I think you're the one that really kind of like injected me with the Romero, like George Romero, like zombie, like Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Return of the Living Dead, all that stuff. You kind of put that stuff in me. But prior to you, I was a huge fan of the Resident Evil games.
Who was in you before me, Steven? Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Chris Redfield, Leon Kennedy. No, I was kidding.
Wow, Steven.
Yeah, there was a few, man.
So many seconds. But okay, no, it's okay. It's fine.
No, but Resident Evil is probably like what framed at least my young brain's version of what zombies are. Okay. The T-virus, like created by some sort of pharmaceutical industry, goes awry and it creates this infestation. And there's a lot of like moving parts that are going on with what's causing this, why is it being caused, etc. So yeah, I like the whole virus transforms human beings into something that's no longer human.
So when you think of that, are those people then undead, or are they just brain dead? And like,
so I almost think like a parasite at that point, right? Like almost like with 28 days later too, like with like the rabies, basically like a variation of a virus. That
it was
like,
a rage, Stephen. It was a rage virus.
It was a rage virus, but yeah, like basically something like that. That's like they're not them anymore, and I don't think they're dead. They're rotting and they're falling apart. But maybe it's
so you're thinking more like intellectual zombies, like they're dead, like brain dead, emotionally dead, ego dead zombies, but not undead as in they are a corpse that's been reanimated, right?
The virus, yeah, like from what I can gather, how I'm kind of seeing it is the virus basically kills who they were, but like those wounds, like the rotting and everything, it's just from the battle scars, and like the virus just keeps them going. Like it's not like they're not like they came out of a grave, you know what I'm saying? Like they were human and became a zombie.
So I mean, similarly, this is like another one of those interesting spectrums that like all monsters seem to have. They're, you know, like vampires seem to have like the beast, and then like the like bureaucrat, and then like the werewolves seem to have like the pure animal wolf and the man beast. You know, it's like you have like this spectrum of potential like versions of the monster. It's like the multiverse of monsters,
basically.
But like with zombies, you have the classic crawling like slow zombies versus fast zombies, but you also have what you're talking about is living zombies versus reanimated corpses, you know, and that's interesting.
Which both definitely have their place and definitely have their fun aspects. Yes. Like there is nothing like watching a hand break through the soil of a grave, like in a graveyard, and watching all these like corpses rise again. That's just terrifying. What was that quote that I think George Romero put it in something, when hell is full, the devil rise or something.
Yeah, dude. So okay. So obviously undead creatures come back. In any version of this. Okay, so I feel like your virus version kind of answers a lot of questions that the undead version can't answer necessarily. Return of the Living Dead is probably my favorite zombie movie. That one, it's like a chemical. It's similar to Resident Evil, where it's like this chemical gets released, it gets into the atmosphere, it rains this like weird acid stuff, it gets into graves, and anything that dies comes back. You know, so it's
which
not,
is so terrifying too.
So it's kind of that movie in particular is a combination of both things, kind of, you know, it's really interesting. And you do see one person or two people become, inundated with that smoke, like from the virus itself, but it slowly kills them. And when it kills them, they come back, you know, but it's not
like it turned them, but it turned them.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's like a weird slow turn. It's like, the transformation happens, but they do die, and they kind of show the moment where it's like, and it's only like a quick moment too, you know, and like, anyway, but
that is always, by the way, and I know it's used a lot in zombie movies, but that is always a very fun moment when someone is hiding a bite or and then the eye change like that, that's always like, I don't care. It gets me every time. I love it. Like, it's just such a cool little transition, like watching someone go from man or woman to,
100%. There's so much you can do, and I think that's why it'll stand the test of time, and they'll persist, and we'll always consume zombie movies, is because
it's almost like the Marvel drop back, where you use zombie movies to kind of, it's not as adventurous with the theme, but you can kind of explore human nature. You can explore different ideas with the zombie backdrop. Basically.
I think like, much like many other monsters and like superheroes, it's not necessarily a genre in and of itself. It's a tool. It's a narrative tool that people can use to structure any sort of movie, and it's really cool. And like, often it's just a survival movie, which that's what makes the zombie subgenre feel like a genre in and of itself. But really, they're just tools, like it's a tool for a rom-com. It's a tool for a heist movie. It's a tool for, all these various movies. I love zombies. I do have questions though, dude. So first and foremost, I don't know what's going on internally, but like, what is still animated in a zombie? And my question is, do zombies poop, Steven?
Where do all those brains go?
Sub-question: are zombies ever not pooping, Steven?
Are they just like, is that the smell? It's not the rotting flesh. It's the
okay, because So we're talking at the very least you have a skeletal system. You have teeth that want to be moving. You have something wants to be chewing. You have arms and legs that want to be grasping. Obviously there's some sort of like just primitive instinctive like I want to feast thing happening, because they seem to just grab and want to tear and eat. It's just a primitive instinct where that's all they want. So but there's a skeletal structure, and there's some sort of desire. I don't know if it's like a hormone or what it is, if it's an actual hunger or if it's just like a fear or
in the Romero movies, it was like to stop the pain. Isn't that one zombie said? Like,
that was Return of the Living Dead.
Oh, he's okay.
Yes. So in Return of the Living Dead, she says the pain, and they say, what pain? And she says the pain of being dead. And but in that case, the zombies have vocal cords. They can actually speak. Sometimes they say brains. So one of them says, "Send more paramedics, send more cops." That movie's amazing. That movie's so funny. I mean, that movie stands out specifically because the zombies have so much autonomy. Like they can do, they have agency. Like they can do things of their own in order to accomplish their goals, which is really interesting, and like the Romero movies start doing that later on too, actually. Like, the zombies start like using weapons and stuff, and they actually like slowly become more, capable of getting what they want, which is terrifying, but also weird. It's like, okay, what does this mean? What is happening here?
In the more recent, what was it, Day or Dawn of the Dead, the one that was made in like what was it? Because it was in the city. Because I remember Dawn of the Dead was it. Land of the Dead, maybe.
Land of the Dead, probably.
Where the one zombie like grabs a gun or something like that.
That was Land of the Dead. Okay. Yeah, the gas station zombie where they use the sky flowers, the fireworks.
And was John Leguizamo in that one too?
Yes. But Steven, so like some of them can talk in movies. They can obviously walk. Do they have a working digestive system?
Well, if they're craving food, we have to establish this. If they're craving brains, because all zombies rip people apart.
Yeah.
They eat them. They take.
It's not always brains, but it's always
something's being consumed. Yeah. So either their digestive system is high functioning and human flesh completely dissolves into their system to keep their body together, or they're shitting their pants like 24/7. They're just walking around in mud.
Well, okay.
What does that level of chafe feel like, by the
way? Right? But okay, so we know that like skeletally structurally they can walk, they can move, they can grasp, but like as far as their muscles are concerned, they're never shown as being strong, especially, and they often fall apart still. They're still deteriorating, which, I mean, okay, so does that mean that like their muscles aren't being activated and it's more like a skeletal thing? Like are they, because like if you take a zombie down to the skeleton, would it still be alive? Would it be a living skeleton?
Yeah, like what part of it still makes it a zombie at that point,
part of it,
right?
Yeah. And I guess my question there is like, if it is just a sort of like a bare bones basic like just monster inside, like that's puppeteering this like dying or dead flesh that's still falling apart and rotting around them. Because no amount of brains or like body or any human mass can ever regenerate their structure. They're not working toward keeping themselves together. They are still deteriorating at all times, which is interesting, and to me that suggests that their muscles aren't active, and that their muscles aren't capable of exercising because they're dead. Like they are still
Which it always makes you feel like if people were just efficient at just going in and staying indoors for maybe 2 weeks.
You're saying that
maybe 2 weeks.
There's a virus that takes over all of humanity. If only people who would avoid other people for a little while. No, that's Stephen and Anthony tackle the hard-hitting issues of the day.
But seriously though, like, because like zombies would eventually rot away, right? I mean, eventually they're going to get sickly because they're not getting enough brains. But
I mean, that's essentially what happens in 28 Weeks Later. That's what they were going for. Is like the zombies. Oh, those were terrifying monster zombies. But they barricaded like society, and they were just like, that's where we keep those, and this is where we are until they die. We're trying our best to like we're creating this efficient, fortified version of reality. So the zombies stay there, we stay here. And of course, people messed it up because that's what people do, you know?
Mhm.
But yeah, dude, that's great. But if the muscles don't work, I imagine the sphincter isn't working. I imagine that everything's just kind of
It's
flowing
just,
through.
which
But
kind of makes sense at why the smell is so bad beyond the rotting flesh.
But
Like,
I'll go. Like, I don't know a lot about human anatomy. I've been a human my whole life. I don't. I've actually seen inside of people because I've been to the body museum in Orlando, which was really crazy and cool and surreal. I can't believe that exists. By the way, it's insane that I got to do that. Like, what kind of weird society do we have where I was like, I would like to pay $15 to see dead people, and they were like, okay, and I was like, okay, like I'll do this.
not the place to be during a zombie apocalypse, that's for sure.
Oh
Like,
man, what a place to be!
What a place to be if that kicks off, right?
So I saw, so you get to see, like, you know, you see the insides, you see all the stuff and how it's formulated and everything. But I imagine, Steven, because I know we have the stomach, and then the stomach, you know, you release all the enzymes, the stomach acid comes and it kind of like tears the food down and sends it into the, you know, the small intestine and all of that. Are those enzymes active? Like, would the food be broken down but beyond the basic chewing? Because obviously zombies chew a little and they're trying to swallow. They don't need to breathe, so there's no concern about the neck muscles, about the esophagus.
Things just need to slop down, basically.
Yeah, things have to slop down, and eventually, if you continue to like force it down, it'll go down until it fills up your stomach. Which I guess if you keep feeding, would you forcefully, just through consumption, force things through the whole like slip
digestive
system of like your?
So those zombies are just walking around with constant reflux.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, I'm thinking they have a solid full system.
They have all 5 symptoms of Pepto-Bismol, like nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, and diarrhea. They're just
So, and I'm thinking that literally every time they take, like, once they fill up their, you know, once they fill up their whole like sand trap of, you know, like their hourglass of, you know, consumed bits, it's constantly going in one end and coming out the other. Like, there is no, I think once you push it, it's just gonna keep going out, right? And I don't.
It's just like a tube of poop, basically.
That's what I think. That's what I think it is. I think that, like, I think zombies are constant. I think they're just like shrimp. They're just like, they have that line of just constant.
Did you at least devein your zombie before you ate it?
Ugh, how dare you, Steven? Okay. Last thing though, I do want to talk, because I feel like zombies are simple enough. Like I think that's probably the case. I think that's partially why they stink. What turns people into a zombie? Like, not the virus itself. Like, when zombies bite, is it the tooth? Is it the saliva?
I've always assumed it was like a bacteria like reaction.
Okay,
like
a bacterial reaction. So
not like a venom, not like it was like it's like a transmission of a virus. Like how if a monkey, you know, like in 28 days later, the monkey, you know, starts the bite, and then that's what causes the whole thing to happen. And then
so that's like a salivatory, like saliva exchange of
which
fluid.
is crazy, because not a lot of viruses get transferred that way either, if you really think about it.
Right.
Like so
do you think, to what extent do you think the zombie would carry the virus on their teeth? And my question, Steven, my question is what I'm asking you here is, can I use a zombie mouth as a weapon to zombify my enemies? Is my question to you.
I think you could, because especially if it's like in like a Resident Evil or like a Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead situation where a bite does turn you, that bacteria is on those teeth. Not to mention, just thinking about it, even if it's not the zombie bacteria, most people that get bit by an alligator, they have to fight sepsis, like, because like the bacteria in an alligator's teeth causes like blood poisoning, basically. So you know, if zombies are eating rotting, like if they have flesh that's just in their teeth all the time, like God, they are spreading all sorts of diseases. You're not just getting zombie, you're getting like, you know, a bunch of stuff.
I'm just imagining, like, you know, apocalyptic wasteland. There's like someone with like a quiver of arrows on their back, and as they take it up, it's just like different various zombie. It's like a green arrow, like silly arrows, but it's all zombie parts that they're shooting at people. Just like, you know, you shoot like a zombie with like the fingernail sticking out, and it shoots right into someone's neck, and now they're
or like you just take individual teeth and just wrap them.
Yeah. How cool would that be? Why doesn't anyone ever do that? Why does no one fight?
We need to do that.
Steven, friggin' like you put the knuckles. What do they call
brass knuckles, but zombie knuckles?
Brass knuckles, but it's zombie teeth. Like, you just put zombie teeth. Bah, 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 and then it's like, now
wrap your hand in leather, and then it's like sew the teeth in and just like start.
Yeah. And then here they are. Now they're just like, oh, what's happening to me? And then as they do that, you're like, ha ha ha, like you want to eat flesh, and then they're like easy to kill because like zombies are nothing.
Especially in like shows like Walking Dead, where they kind of convey that the humans are the more dangerous threat than the zombies. So yes, if you're like, if you're versing like another crew of zombie survivors that are like Negans or like whoever, I've
the skinwalker people and like all the the governor and all
the governor's a good one. Like you're just shooting zombie teeth at them and you transform them. They're just mindless husks
now they're just among the horde.
You're governing nothing now, buddy. You're just
it's just I mean that's the case with most. I mean, isn't that kind of what we do? We always celebrate like the fall of whatever various dictator, like as if it's like the end of that era of evil. It's like that would work in any story. It's like, oh, how did they take him out? Oh, they shot a zombie tooth at his ankle. Like who knew his kryptonite was becoming a zombie? Looks like he ate his entire family. Wait, what? Yep.
I wonder if that would work against Superman.
I don't know. I wonder. Like, I'm sure
if Doomsday did it. If Doomsday was a zombie, Doomsday's. So here's what we do.
Okay.
We find a zombified Doomsday. We grab his bones and we just. Was it his bones? I can't remember. In the 90s, in that comic, does he describe?
Yeah.
I think they say his bones are so sharp that they go through the invulnerability. Yeah. But Doomsday is also very strong. So like I don't know if it's like a combination of the two.
Yeah,
but yes. Right? Like I couldn't just pick up Doomsday's arm and slash Superman open. But like I don't think I could like cut Doomsday's arm off and like take the meat out, if you will, and put it on my arm.
Demeatify Doomsday. Like, ooh.
I need to eventually draw me with like all these different parts of like the people I've demeated, basically, just like a turtle shell out with Doomsday's arm.
I feel like we don't see enough like bone weapons. Like, why isn't that a thing? Why isn't that a thing? Like, it seems like okay. I'll tell you, Steven, I actually have a scar right here from a crab shell. On my finger from when I was opening up a crab. I went, ow! And it's like still meaty on my finger. Like weeks later, it took to heal because like I was cracking.
It just got you good, and I think your hands are kind of soft from the moisture, so like it just breaks through that skin.
Exactly, it got right through there, and I was like, it's mostly healed now, but it's like it's still like a little patchy and weird.
The crab from its crab afterlife was like, I got one left.
I got it. But. We don't see enough of that. We should like. Why aren't there crab claw weapons, like bone weapons? And
considering that nature was it like how many species have evolved to crab? Like that's the final form.
Crab.
Everything's become crab. I mean, we're gonna become crabs. It's just
why would we not become crab? It's like 3 episodes later, we both just have these giant crab claws.
Crab people. But seriously though, like they're just so efficient, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like you should either be a shark, a crab, or an alligator. I mean, like those are like the ones that have like figured it out, right?
Yeah.
Like
oh my god, yeah. Yeah, I mean, who doesn't want to be an alligator? Speaking of alligators, Steven, speaking of alligators and meth gators.
Nice. That was an accidental segue too. I wasn't even trying.
Oh no, it was written. The whole show is scripted. Speaking of meth gators, Steven, I talked to a scammer lately, recently, and Steven, every once in a while, one of these people makes their way into my DMs, and I know some of you know. If you're on social media, especially on Twitter, you get these people in your DMs, and these people are just like, "Hey, I have a scam for you," and you're like, "I know it's a scam." And they're like, "We know, but I'm still gonna say my piece." And it's like, I guess you have to now. Like that's just what we do. So some people come knocking on my DM door, and they want to sell their, pitch me sell their whatever they're selling, their pyramid scheme. So someone came in there, Steven. And they were not taking no for. They were not put off by my shenanigans, Steven. They went along with it for too long. But
they fought the good fight.
They did fight the good fight, Steven. So this time I would like to do an Anthony dates cannibals. I mean scammers. Anthony dates scammers / robots. Anthony dates robots.
Anthony dates robots. Sorry. I'm sorry, people. All right, so this one is from Alexander. Is that like how you say Alexander with like the weird RE flip?
I think
Alexander so. Yeah, right. Yeah. Alexander Williams. Hello, my good friend. How are you doing?
Great. Hearts. Great. Now that I finally have a friend. Who will we eat first?
Like seriously?
That's what friends are for. I'll eat your back if you eat mine.
Okay, that is great. My name is Alexander Williams. I'm originally from Hungary, but I live in the UK, London, and I'm a banker. I'm working with Lloyd's Bank PLC.
Do you have sauces?
Please, where are you from and where do you live?
Will you marinate yourself for at least 10 hours before we meet? Meat. Get it? Where am I from? My meat isn't from the Champagne region of France, so this is just sparkling cannibalism.
Please. I don't understand what you mean by that. I ask you again, where are you from and where do you live?
I'm from the wild, wild South. It's like the Wild, Wild West, but with more meth gators.
You're from Florida. I just love that he said that. I just love that meth gators, like he knew Florida. Like meth gators.
Amazing.
Like,
it's amazing. Like, it's incredible. This is a legitimate scammer. Like, it is not a person pretending to be a scammer. This is just someone who's like, I'm gonna get some money from this guy. And I was like, they asked me where I'm from. I said the Wild, Wild South because of meth gators, and they just immediately, instinctively, like, Florida. Must be Florida. We all know that.
It must be Florida. We know it's Florida. Meth gators.
Yeah, this is really happening. This is true, real life. So he says, "You're from Florida." I say, "That's what I said." Yeah.
Okay, nice. Please, what is your occupation?
Right now, I'm between jobs. Normally, I rent out my body for mad science. You?
Like, seriously?
Yes, it's very popular where I live.
What is your full name?
Stephen Williams.
Like, seriously? Who's Anthony? I love they keep saying, like, seriously, too.
Honestly, I ask myself that every friggin' day.
I don't, that you are serious.
I am deadly serious about you eating me.
I don't think you are serious.
Are you suggesting that I will taste funny?
Okay, I'm here for business, so stop fooling.
Oh, let's talk numbers then. How much do you want to pay to eat me? And how much sauce do you need? And by sauce, of course, I mean meth.
We have customers in our bank who has the same last name as you and died without an heir. I want you to inherit this fund. What do you think? I will make all legal requirements for this fund.
So
meanwhile,
you don't have to read the whole thing. So
okay.
So he does this whole ridiculous thing where he says basically I'm gonna inherit some money because I have the same last name as someone, even though I didn't tell him. I told him my last name was Williams, and he's like, oh yeah, totally. That's it. Like
Williams
that's why,
is the name.
It's like he contacted me before I gave him my fake last name. What? You know, like what do you think? So I write, I'm totally in, but like, this sauce isn't going to clean itself off my ribs, you know?
Kindly write to me in my email or drop your email. I shall provide more details of this inheritance for your perusal and subsequently an application to the bank to begin the transaction. Here's my email address, blah, 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 blah.
So I give him our podcast email, and I was like, please email me. And he doesn't. So they say, okay.
Okay. I will massage you, by the way. I will massage you on email soon.
But like, are you in, or do I have to find someone else to bite into this sweet, sweet meth meat?
Me? I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm saying that I want you to take your face and bury it in my belly, duh. Not in a sexual way, in a very professional, businessy way.
Okay, no problem about that.
Do you have a collection of bibs, or should I bring one for you?
Bring some from me. What? Bring some from me. I just need iTunes gift card so you can get some from me, please.
Wait, what? I feel like you lost the plot here. Don't mix up your scams. Stick with me here. We're doing the inheritance eating stomach story. Then he blocks
you can no longer send messages.
He blocks me. But it's like, how funny is that? That I was like, I'm talking to him about eating me. I'm asking him if he wants me to bring a bib, and he's like, yeah, bring one. And then he's like, oh, by the way, I need an iTunes gift card. Like, what?
He's just like, he's just lobbing whatever he can.
You're like, oh, I'm going for it. Like, what? What did he think was gonna did he think I was gonna be like, oh well, I mean, like, in order to get that inheritance and also be eaten today, I'm going to need to get this person a gift card? Like, what? No, that's not how any cannibalism deal has ever worked for me in the past. People just agree to eat or they don't. Get it?
Come on, man, get with the program.
But
guy.
anyway. All right, dude. But those are so funny. I get those all the time, man.
Last time I thought I had one, I'm pretty sure it was just a real porn account trying to message me. I forget how I edited it.
Ooh, I like the way you look. No, oh, this is fake. Your hair is gorgeous. Oh, this can't be real.
This is too much.
Hit me with your Mjolnir. Wait, what? I'm talking about the hammer is your penis. No.
I forgot what it was because I remember I sent it to you, Sean, and Dina and Dan, and I was like, everyone was laughing and telling me to say stuff, and then it got like really real, and I just like apologized. I was like, listen, I'm gonna be real. I thought this was a bot, but you're obviously a real person, and I feel horrible, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just unfollow.
I've had a couple of those. Like normally it's just like scammers or like, you know, like really creepy like fake people and stuff. I did have one where it was like a very real like kink fest situation where like someone like actually it happened twice. Like there was one time I got my first ever I got a video of a man's penis in my DMs. Did I tell you about that?
Yes, I believe you did, but that's nuts.
So, like, that was nuts. I was just like, and because it wasn't just like a picture, it was like a video of his wife, and he's like, "Do you want to have sex with her?" And I was like, "No." And then he's like, "Oh," or and he's like, like, like,
it was like not impressive too, or something, right? Or something.
Yeah, like I hate like I don't want to be like I don't want to shame people, but yeah, man, it was weird. Well, what's weird about it to me is it's just like I'd imagine if you're gonna go out there and be like, check this out, ha ha ha, it would be like, oh wow, I've never seen anything like that. Like what? Like his anaconda doesn't want none unless you've got.
At least needs to be like, exceptional if you're going to completely insult and degrade another human being, right? I mean, I'm not saying that that's even good. What I'm saying
it's never
is
acceptable,
like,
but
that level of ego should only exist in those circumstances, right? Like
you'd imagine it would, but that's not the case. I have learned through having many conversations with many women that is not the like people will just the guys would like they love just like throwing that stuff out there. But
it's probably just a gross power trip in and of itself because they don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's probably what it is.
It's weird, dude. I mean, I don't know. It was very weird. But I've gotten a couple like that. I've gotten that. I also had one where it was like this person who liked talking to guys, and then like their kink was turning them like the real men into pigs. Like they like pig men. And they were like, "Do you want to be a pig man?" I'm like, not necessarily. Like not necessarily. Like I'm not against pig men. And people who like pigmen, I'm just saying that like, why? Who wants to be a pigman? Like, who's saying yes to this is interesting to me, but not.
You want me to become a pigman and risk my house getting blown down by some jagoff wolf? That's what you want me to do?
Anyway, so all right, but every week, Steven, we talk about what we're gonna do next. What do you have going on this week? What's happening next?
I'm gonna wrap that page, and I'm gonna do the entire next page for sure this week. So, him getting smackadoodled by a car.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing, dude! I can't wait. For me, I'm going to totally finish coloring this page that I started. It's already looking really good. I feel like I have like a nice start, like a nice idea of how the page should look. It's mostly character stuff, not a lot of background, so it should be pretty cut and dry, like really simple. I'm gonna edit like half the podcast tonight. I'm gonna try to just finish up that page before bed if I can.
Nice.
But otherwise, I have the next few days where Atlas is going to be with his mom. So I have to make like a memorial video. I'm going to work on that. But like, I'm probably going to work on that like Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to do the podcast, going to do the memorial video, finish that page. And I'm going to finish this first draft of this freaking comic. That's my plan. Like, I'm gonna do it. I know I can do it. I'm gonna do it this week. I'm
excited to read it because I've already read this issue. I've been known issue 1 and how it ends. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, I love issue 1. The more like I go back and like revisit issue 1 stuff, the more I'm just like, oh, this is actually fun. Like this is like really funny, and I think people are gonna like it. So
and there's a lot of cool like random like Deathless histories in it. Like I think we did a really good job at covering what Deathless is.
Yeah.
And like I think he only has like 4 pages of history throughout the whole book, even so
it's so cool. I can't wait to like get back to like I can't wait to do some like flashbacks of Deathless and his various like incarnations and stuff. It's gonna be a fun book. I think people are gonna like it, but that's what we're gonna do. I think we can do it this week. I think
this week is actually almost like it's a better than normal week for you, and it's basically a normal week for me. So I think we should be in pretty good shape this week.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. thank you all. Thank you for listening. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps, thank you. Thank you, JD, for reminding me every week. I appreciate you. You're amazing. Thank you. Please head over to our YouTube at youtube.com/wehaveissuespodcast and hit the wherever it is over here somewhere. There's a little ostrich. Just push that, subscribe, help us, hit the like button. We're at war with the people who don't like our podcast. I'm just kidding. We're not. I don't care about them, but I do love you for liking us. I really do. I do appreciate it. I see those and like it makes me feel good that people are watching our show at all. People seem to be liking our show recently, and I really am thankful. I couldn't be more thankful. You have anything you want to say, Steven?
No, thank you guys so much for continuously supporting us week after week. We love each and every one of you, and we're so excited to get Deathless into your hands. Absolutely.
If you'd like a physical copy of Play It Again, contact us on Twitter, or you can PayPal Steven $10 at sjjtodd@yahoo.com and send us your address, and we'll get you some physical copies. We'll put the links to everything below in the description, but thank you again for your support. We also have Patreon. I'm trying to add some more stuff to that. Steven, I did a whole thing today before this. I'm like doing double duty here, Steven. I have a mini podcast within a podcast. I'm incepting.
One with the dome within the dome.
Dome within the dome, Steven. But yeah, we're doing our best to just get as much out to people as we can. Hopefully people, you're enjoying the silly stuff that we're doing. We're trying to get back on TikTok. If you have any suggestions for us to how we can make that successful, let us know, because I'm bad at it. I'm gonna get better though. We're gonna do this, Steven. I believe in us.
I love you, dude.
I love you so much, dude. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. We will definitely see you next week. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Stevie Wildcard.
This has been episode 93 of We Have Issues.
Woo! 7 episodes to go, Kevin.
7 episodes. We need you, Kevin Smith.
K. Smith, we need you.
Get on the podcast.
But I'd be totally cool with Jeff Anderson too.
Oh man, that would be cool too. I mean, okay, Steven, just real quick before we head out, all right? If we could like secure just any of a list of people, who are the people in the spectrum that you'd be like happy to have on our like 100th episode, or you'd be like, man, that would be like amazing to get them?
Like in the realm of possibility?
Yeah, I mean, like
push the limits a little bit.
Push the limits a little bit. Let's say, because like I feel like Casey would be really cool, right?
Yo, for sure.
From Deer Hunter, Casey.
Claudio seems unrealistic, but I would love to talk to Claudio.
Of course, yeah.
Especially just like on the comic and story aspect of things. I know. I'm sure he gets asked 1,000 music questions. I would love to just like pick his brain about his universe. But yeah, let's see, Claudio and Casey for sure, because especially with like the new Deer Hunter track was really awesome. It's like very Hamilton meets Deer Hunter. It's pretty epic. I'll send it to you. Let's see who else. Comic book wise, I don't know who I'd want to actually talk to from the comic book industry. I think it'd be cool for you, for like Mike Allred or like Rob Schraub.
Like Rob Schraub, awesome. Mike Allred. Yeah, those are people I'd love to talk to. Just.
Yeah, those are cool people. I think it'd be cool to talk to like anyone like from Lost Boys. Anyone, cool basically anyone, like Laddie, anyone, like
that would be cool.
Was it Laddie or Lanny? It was Laddie, right? Or was it Lanny?
Now I'm thinking. I think I said Lenny last episode. Let me see.
It might be Lenny too.
Crap. It might be Laddie.
I've always heard his name weird in that movie. It's so funny. That's why it's Laddie.
It's Laddie. Laddie? Is it Laddie?
Yep, with an IE
Laddie.
too.
With an IE. Okay, Laddie. Yeah. Laddie. But dude, yeah, that would be cool to get Laddie, or really anyone from Lost Boys would be cool.
Literally anyone, basically. Even the mom from Lost Boys would be awesome.
Oh, she's awesome though.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Who else would be really cool? I mean, I have so many like directors, and like writers, and like people that don't necessarily have anything to do with our show, but like I'm inspired by for one reason or another. Like Macon Blair is a filmmaker I really like Josh Rubin. Like I've interacted with them on Twitter, so it's like it feels possible. I would love Olin Rogers. He's the guy who created Final Space, and he's the kind of person who's like, he's gone through what we're going through. Like he started on YouTube, like he blew up on YouTube telling stories, like personal stories, and just blew up. And he started like he he went out and he like made an animated pilot, or like paid for an animated pilot for a show called Final Space, and it got picked up by TBS. And like
which is crazy.
Like
He's the one that you saw recently too, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
show?
I went to go see his comedy show, and it was so good. He's so funny. But I went to go see his comedy show, and like, dude, I don't know. He's so amazing, and like what he's gone through is very similar to what we're going through. It's just like trying our best and feeling like it's just a struggle to make those climbs, but we're doing what we can with whatever we have. And it's just like, I feel like he's the type of, like, he definitely knows that struggle, and it would be cool to talk to him about it, especially since, and I hate to say this, but especially since his show was recently canceled. So it's like, he's going through that again, where it's like, but now he has all the success, and like, it's a different level.
He basically knows how to come back. Like he's navigated different paths, basically. Yeah. So he would probably be an amazing wisdom to speak to. Like he'd be like a fountain of information.
Yeah, dude, on that front. And even if it's just reinforcing things we already know, because I feel like you and I, like, just like anyone else who might be listening, like you already know all the answers. We know the thing we have to do is just do the thing. Like, we have to make a thing and put it out in the world in the best way we can, and like, that's all we
can. And it's just like sometimes you like that reassurance that you are doing the thing properly. Like, am I doing the thing? Like, you're looking over, because I feel like as humans, that's how we learn. We watch other humans do human things, and we try to like add our flavor to it, basically, but imitate. Like, that's what we do. That's what humans are.
Well, I mean, it's like we're all swimming along together, and we look over, and if we see someone else who's doing like a backstroke, and then we're like, I've never thought to swim that way. It's like, crap. Okay, wait. What if I add this to my repertoire? And now we have like a new little move to throw in when our arms get tired or whatever. It's like, that's good. Oh, you can float on your back. Sweet. I didn't realize that. I was just treading water and my legs are tired. So it's like you learn these little things through, like, if you're open enough to the experience of recognizing that other people are in the similar boats, so it's cool, and I like that. So it'd be cool to talk to him. It's a big get, but Steven, he follows me on Twitter, so like, it can't be like,
watch this episode, watch the whole thing, because you have all the time in the world to watch. I know, maybe and then come on our show.
Steven, okay, let me ask you, I'm gonna ask your advice here. I'm not big on asking advice. I don't usually like doing it. I like looking for things, like finding like lessons and wisdom, like naturally, like it's like asking someone for advice feels like asking them to say cheese for a picture, whereas like otherwise I like candid wisdom that like you just kind of like stumble upon throughout your life, All right, Steven, I'm gonna ask you, and I follow him and he follows me on Twitter, which opens up the possibility of DMs. Because we follow each other, I see the little like mail by, like the envelope, and it's like, hey, you can DM this guy, and I'm like, I could very well shoot a shot into his DMs and just spill my guts and just be like, hey, this is who I am, and this is what we do, and this is what we think, and why we'd like you on the show, and I could just do that, rather than like putting it out in the timeline and letting it just like get lost. And because like he has thousands, like so many followers, so I'm sure people every day are being like, oh, Final Space, or like, oh, I love this, I love you, or whatever. He's probably not getting the same amount of DMs every day, so I'm sure he would see the the direct message, whereas the indirect timeline isn't as, but it does feel a little intrusive, or I'm nervous about that. I don't know.
You basically, so I think your biggest risk is he's just going to unfollow you.
Right.
So if that shot take is worth it to you, then I mean, if it's just an unfollow, because basically if he isn't following you, so basically running this risk means that you could play the long game and just be you, and him notice you and then DM you. You know what I'm saying? And talk to you. And then that would open up a more organic dialogue. But he could also just not be offended by you DMing him too. So like, I'm going to go with the Wayne Gretzky. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take here, Michael Scott. Like nice. But seriously, I mean, like,
I think you're right. And
the worst case scenario is he's just going to unfollow you, and then at that point we're just back to where we kind of are anyway. You know what I'm saying?
That's where I was hoping you would say, and that's kind of what I was like leaning into. I was like, I wanted you to reinforce the idiocy that's like stewing in my brain, because like, I'm gonna do it. I was gonna do it.
Basically, the payoff that you could receive is that he may notice a tweet of yours sometime in the future, but that's not even a truth. That's just like that's a very passive hopeful. So like, at least a more direct approach, you're going to get the answer you want. He's either going to tell you no or yes, and it's going to be very apparent, you know?
Yeah. Either way,
it just kills the human hope. That's the only problem, is either way that hope is going to, basically you're taking that hope and putting it on the table.
Yeah.
And ready for it to either blossom or die.
Steven, this podcast started with us talking about putting all our eggs in a basket, Steven. Yep. We have one basket and we have nothing else to put these eggs in. So we're just gonna hope that I don't trip, even though I trip often. So yeah, no, I mean I'm a professional tripper. In fact, like that's what half of these eggs are just
that's why we work together, because 2 trips equals no trip, right? I think it's something like
we cancel each other out.
We just keep stumbling forward.
Yeah. But I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it. Like, I will
be Anthony about it. Send a very well structured Anthony DM. Like, I'm sure you'll stand out above the others that randomly DM him. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm gonna do it, Steven. Coming next week. It's a new podcast with Anthony and Olin Rogers.
Steven's God. Steven's just the sound effect guy now. That's the sound of his heartbreak. It's the only sound he makes.
I think like Olin Rogers, like, I don't know, like I love him, dude. He's so cool, and he reminds me of like a cooler, more charismatic, like better looking version of me, where I'm like, oh, you're better at doing this thing that I naturally do, and I'm like, I don't like that, but I love it, you know. I'm like, I like what you're doing. I wish I was that, you know. Like I'm not, you know, but I know it. Like it's cool though. It's fun to like to like hear those echoes of like, you know, like, and just like reinforce things, you know. So yeah, I think I will. I'm going to.
I think, yeah, like I said, I think it's one of those things that's worth taking the shot, because you're genuine, and if he doesn't see that, then it is what it is. You just move on, and we'll find somebody else to talk to. So
agreed. Yeah, dude, I think it'll be cool. I will try and see what happens, and no matter what, we get to talk about it on the podcast. So take that, Olin Rogers. I mean, thank you. But
we're gonna get Jamie Newlandered, buddy.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare.
We learned a lesson from that, though. We did.
We did.
We know now.
You strike while the iron's hot.
You strike while the iron's hot. It's a lesson we learned, and we're going to apply that, you know?
We are. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think that's the right call. I'm going to shoot a shot at Kevin Smith again. I can't DM him, but I might as well just be like, hey, Kevin Smith, we have episode 100 coming up, and we would love to have you on, you know?
Even if for a minute, you can literally come on and just...
Or like, if you just send us like a cameo video just saying like, good luck with the podcast, guys. Like, I'd be happy. It would be fun, you know? But like, come on, man. Please, I beg of you. No. Anyway, we should get out of here. We already did our goodbye. So
it's 10 o'clock. So this is Patreon if you want, or this is extra clip, whatever you want to do.
I'll put this whole thing just after the the whole. It's a second podcast after the podcast. Episode 2, episode 94.
we already got next week's episode half recorded. So
next episode we should just call episode 95, and people are gonna be like, "What happened in 94?" But like, it's after 93. You weren't paying attention. We give you the.
You weren't paying attention at all. We recorded it. It was like a whole other 40 minutes.
We recorded 2 episodes in one. Anyway, all right, dude.
All right, man.